Good afternoon. I now call to order the special meeting of the Eagle Pass Bridge Board of Trustees for Monday, October 27th, 2025. It is approximately 12:06 p.m. First, let's establish our quorum. Present in this meeting today, Mr. Sandoval, Mr. Salinas, Ms. Valdez, Mr. Escobar, and our Honorable Mayor, Mr. Valdez. First item here, citizens' communication and recognition. We will open our citizens' communications and recognition. We do have two members who signed up. Please let me, that each one will have up to 3 minutes. Please state your full name for the record before beginning your remarks. A este tiempo vamos a empezar a escuchar a los ciudadanos. Se enlistaron dos. Mr. Mario Villarreal.
Buenas tardes.
Voy a utilizar este tiempo de los 3 minutos para hablar sobre el item número 2, que es sobre el puente 1, con las tarifas, bueno, con el 2 también las tarifas peatonales. Y no está descrito el costo para motocicletas, bicicletas y scooters en el tráfico que lo ponen como peatonal también el scooters. Y sobre todo en la tarifa para el no comercial, cuando pagas en efectivo, que quieren subir de $4 a $6 o $4 a $5, estamos pidiendo que se quede a $4, igual que como pagas con tarjeta. Entendemos que el objetivo es que pasen rápido los vehículos sobre los puentes, pero hay una deficiencia intelectual o económica de ciertas partes de la comunidad, como los tercera edad, como nosotros, que te es difícil o incómodo estar poniendo tarjeta. Tú llegas y pagas, y a veces haces 1 hora, 2 horas, prefieres hacer la fila 2 horas que estarte metiendo en internet. Hay mucha gente que sí lo hace. Entonces sería muy costoso para ellos un incremento del 50% de una tarifa, y hay personas que trabajan toda la semana aquí en Isla Paz y viven en Piedras Negras por lo mismo, porque son de bajos ingresos económicos y no tienen la capacidad económica para pagar una casa de renta en Isla Paz. Entonces van y cruzan, rentan en Piedras Negras y están pasando todos los días. El problema que puede haber también es de que al subir a $6, el gobierno mexicano lo puede subir a $3 de allá para acá, y serían $9 diarios. Por 5 o 6 días este tipo de gente trabajamos 6 días a la semana. Entonces ya serían que $45 a la semana. Cuando recibes un pago de $300 por andar cortando zacate o otro, es mucho. Y aparte cuando pagas con tarjeta, un ejemplo, los beneficios que tiene el tener dinero. Llegas a Hueta, compras joyería, perfumes y alcohol, licor. Te pones en las primeras filas, sales ahí, pagas, paras el tráfico y pagas con una tarjeta y te cobran $4. Entonces ahí a esa gente es donde estás haciendo tantito comercio, tantito beneficio. A eso sí se les puede cobrar algo porque estás parando el tráfico. Y ahorita también se tiene que ver algo de comunicación con el lado mexicano, porque el Sentry están cambiando porque están reparando abajo y no hay anuncios. Y en el puente 2, que es el costo que quieren subir la tarifa para hacer los servicios del costo 2, no hay cruce peatonal. Llegas y te sales a la Zaragoza y de allá para acá tienes que venirte por abajo del puente. Entonces que el costo que se requiere para peatonal lo pague el comercial, porque es el que se está beneficiando, y hay mucho peligro. Como ahorita en el comercial viene un tráiler, viene una señora de edad caminando despacio y no lo ves cuando pasas el tráfico vehicular. Entonces, como vas a diseñar Isla Paz, el diseño de México, pues también utilizar esa información para el peatonal en el puente 2. Gracias.
Chairman, can I answer?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oiga, nomás de volada para poder intentar de darle más conocimiento aquí a la mesa directiva. De 4 a 6 o sea, es lo que estaban proponiendo, ¿verdad? Más sin embargo, lo que sí buscamos es buscar la manera de convencer a la gente a cambiarse al Express.
Sí,
Si lo dejamos igual, pues no va a haber diferencia. Ahora, lo que también quieren poner es una calcamonía para poder identificar cada auto para no tener que depender de la tarjeta.
sí,
Y a la misma vez capacitar, que va a ser nuestro trabajo, capacitar nosotros al personal para que pueda educar a la gente cómo seguir el proceso, y nosotros ser conscientes que si una persona por un descuido no alimenta la cuota,
sí,
nosotros, o sea, buscar la manera de nosotros entender y ser conscientes que a lo mejor no mucha gente va a poder entender ese sistema.
sí,
Pero buscamos la manera de ser en sí la frontera más eficiente. Ahora, sí sabe que bajó el vehículo que cruza por como 40,000 más o menos. Bajó 40,000, más sin embargo, nosotros no incrementamos la tarifa.
correcto.
Bajó por las filas y la ineficiencia que hay.
Sí,
Ahora, nosotros queremos mejorar esa eficiencia, a la misma vez también queremos una expansión
correcto.
del puente, queremos una realineación y queremos hacer esto de alguna manera que no, o sea, ¿de dónde vamos a poder buscar los fondos? Entonces
Sí.
queremos de una manera muy educada asegurar que podamos ser una frontera muy eficiente y buscar la manera de no subir los impuestos. Entonces,
Sí.
pero este discurso es muy importante que lo tengamos para el día de mañana que lo llevemos a concilio podamos tomar la mejor decisión. Y le agradezco muchísimo, honestamente, que haya venido y los datos que trae. Ahora, el peatonal y las motocicletas y los racers, o ¿cómo se dice?
Scooters.
Los
Scooters.
scooters. No lo hemos traído porque no estamos buscando un cambio en ello. Más sin embargo, si tiene una recomendación, díganos para agregarlo y ver cómo modificamos el peatonal, ver cómo modificar las motocicletas y lo traemos, porque
Sí.
a mucha gente que dice, oye, empiézale a cobrar a los scooters,
Sí,
porque no hay, o sea, les estás cobrando lo mismo a los scooters que a los peatonales. A lo mejor ahí hay otra modificación que se tiene que hacer.
nomás que se me acabó unos 3 minutos, ¿le puedo contestar?
Chévere.
Pásale, sí, go ahead.
Lo que hemos estado checando con los scooters es de que vienen los chamacos, las chamacas que vienen a la escuela, y que está muy bien porque se están ahorrando tiempo y dinero para cruzar. Va una persona caminando enfrente de ellos sobre la banqueta y le timbran, y la persona a que le timbran pues se voltea a ver qué le está pasando y se frenan, porque ¿qué quiere el scooter? Que la persona al pitarte, ya con eso me vas a entender qué quiero que hagas, y va a haber accidentes, y ha habido accidentes también vehiculares con ellos, ya han perdido la vida. Se tiene que legislar localmente para esta condición sobre los puentes. No voy sobre las tarifas, voy sobre la condición. Primero yo parto de un derecho humano, de que tienes el derecho a transportarte, a moverte, a caminar. Esos debes de cobrarles menos. ¿Por qué? Porque tienes el derecho. Oye, es un puente internacional. En los demás puentes que tiene la ciudad no se cobra. Y primero va el ser humano. Después tienes a los vehículos o bicicletas, pero ya es un privilegio. El vehículo es un privilegio. Entonces me voy a pasar en un vehículo, una familia, el señor, la señora y 3 niños, se van a pie y pagan $5. Y ellos pesan entre todos menos de 1,000 libras. Y yo voy en una Suburban de 3,000, 4,000 libras y pago $4. Y voy en buenas condiciones. Ahí el dinero pasa a otro término. Ahora, vas en el vehículo y tienes la capacidad intelectual y económica de ponerlo en tarjeta. Y es muy conveniente. Te ahorras el tráfico, pasa rápido y es más económico. Quieres poner a todos los demás gente a este sistema, lo entiendo, pero ya tienen años y no han entrado porque no han podido, de las 2 razones que uno es intelectual. Van todos los días de aquí a Guerrero a cuidar unas chivas y unas borregas que tienen los ejidatarios allá, y viene porque la señora vive aquí. Y va y viene, oye, ¿por qué no pones tarjeta? No traigo celular. Hay gente que no tiene celular. Entonces, y a ellos se le carga a $6 o a $5 Y ahí es donde hay mucha gente que no tiene voz y pues gracias a Dios yo puedo hablar por ellos.
Creo que se le facilita si tiene celular. Y corrígeme si estoy equivocado, Meme, sí,
No, yo digo que hay personas que no tienen celular.
por eso le digo que hay manera de poder tener este servicio sin tener celular.
Se puede recargar en la caseta o en las oficinas.
Sí, son $40.
Po-
Ahora, podemos trabajar eso, ¿verdad? Pero a lo que digo yo es que el bloque general grande de vehículos es el que tiene esa incapacidad. Son muchas incapacidades, y no se quieren ni el sistema que ya está. Y es la invitación, y te ven que te pasas inmediatamente, y ellos están haciendo la hora. ¿Por qué están haciendo la hora? Y lo que yo te digo, un ejemplo de 2 caballos, 3 caballos. Y el que va enfrente lleva un paso. Aquí hay que llevar ese que está atrás. Porque el de atrás, si pudiera, iría enfrente. A esos hay que ayudar, los que vienen atrás. Y es lo que está pasando aquí. Los que necesitan ayuda son las personas que hacen la fila, tanto de aquí para allá, como la fila de allá para acá. De allá para acá también pasamos por Sentry. Acabamos de pasar ahorita por Sentry. Y es un privilegio que en 5 minutos cruzas. Y hay gente que está haciendo una hora por pasar. ¿Cuántos años tienen con esa oportunidad que se pueden venir para acá? Y no lo hacen. ¿Por qué? Por su incapacidad. No es porque no quieran pasar pronto. Esa es a la gente que queremos ayudar. Esa es a la gente que debería hacerle servicio. Ahora, vienen por trailers comerciales. El trailer comercial ahorita por los combustibles, a ellos cobrarle. A ellos es la carga que se le puede. Tenemos necesidades y tenemos que mejorar. A ellos hay que subirle porque ese es su negocio. $25 por un camión con quién sabe cuántos galones, 200, 300 galones de combustible. A ellos no les $25 no es nada.
No, pues por eso, o sea, ellos les aumentamos $10. O sea, es casi lo doble de lo que pagaban, se le acaba de aumentar.
Sí.
Nosotros entendemos ese concepto, pero, o sea, nosotros como oficiales electos, tenemos que ver para ofrecerle seguridad pública a la comunidad.
Sí.
Asegurar que las calles estén adecuadas, traer empleo. Nuestra prioridad es Igle Paz. Entonces, tenemos que buscar la manera de poderle dar a Igle Paz sus parques, sus departamento de bomberos, sus policías y tener lo mejor de lo mejor, ¿verdad? Para poder ofrecer eso, tenemos que buscar la manera de competir contra Laredo, contra McAllen y ser la frontera más eficiente que existe. Si queremos llegar a ese punto, tenemos que entrenar o convencer a la comunidad cómo ser la manera más eficiente.
Correcto.
Y eso es lo que queremos llegar. Y estoy de acuerdo con usted y se lo podemos traer a nuestro city manager, ¿verdad? De buscar la manera de no cobrarle tanto a los peatonales. Ahí sí estoy de acuerdo.
Le agradezco y ese pensamiento que esté en usted, el gerente sabe que yo lo tengo. ¿Cómo podemos ganarle a Laredo? Y le vamos a ganar internacionalmente a todos los cruces que hay de México a Estados Unidos. ¿Qué pasaría si al peatón no le cobras? No, pero es que si necesitamos ese dinero. Bueno, necesitamos ese dinero. ¿Qué pasaría si los vehículos no les cobran? No, si necesitamos cobrarle. Bueno, vamos a cobrarle en vez de 4 y 6, 5 y 5. Pero no menospreciar al que menos tiene. Pagas con tarjeta $5, pagas sin tarjeta $5. Pero que no haya una diferencia, porque tú sí tienes la capacidad intelectual y económica y tú no tienes la capacidad intelectual o económica. No nos castiguen por la incapacidad que tenemos.
Claro.
¿Sí me explico?
Sí,
Yo no estoy diciendo de dinero, yo estoy diciendo de servicios con el dinero que tenemos que pagar por el servicio.
Bueno, gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias. Nuestro siguiente persona, Mr. Jesús Casas.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Honorable Board. More or less the same issue, just to explain a little bit different. We're trying to, I believe the new proposal is $5, it's not $6. So even that, we thank Ms. Jessica for coming up with that. But my thing is that we're going to create this second bridge expansion. And this second bridge expansion is mainly, I'm thinking it's mainly commercial. So under the matching principle for accounting, you spend, any expenses that you have need to go along with the revenues that you're going to produce. So if we're going to make the different people at the commercial level more efficient, I mean, let's say they take 3 hours, and instead of 3 hours, they're going to be probably 45 minutes. That's a very good plus for them that they have a business, in transportation. So they usually get that, the supplies or the inventory from maquilas and all that. And all those maquilas, they don't mind if you increase them, the amount of money that you charge for the transportation. They make a lot of money. I've worked for so many maquilas in the past. I've worked with so many clients, in the transportation business. And what I'm trying to say here is that if that bridge expansion is going to be commercial, that's going to be the main use for this expansion. I believe we should be able to actually allocate, to them, not the non-commercial vehicles. I mean, I think it needs to be put on them. Right now, as it is, I don't know if Mr. Homer, Mr. Valderas, I'm sorry, can take into account that the increase for the commercial is 18%. The increase for the non-commercial is 25%. So back in my former days when I was the chairman for the bridge board, what we did that difference between the car, because we wanted to stimulate people to buy into the car so that we can, make things better and have people, use that car. And what I'm trying to say here is that it has worked, but I think it hasn't worked completely. It has worked in the past, and I think it hasn't worked completely. So my request to the board is to actually take into consideration that once you make that difference again, then there may be, I mean, Mario mentioned something that is different from what I'm going to say, but now the expressway, let's say it works, but now the expressway is not going to be considered expressway because now all the people, are going to go into that. Thank you very much. I don't know if any questions, sir.
Thank you, sir. Oh. Thank you very much. We're moving to the next item on the agenda is discussion and possible action on Chapter 26, Article 7, Section 26-183(3) of the Code of Ordinance regarding amendments to commercial vehicle fees. The proposal is to increase the toll tag rate from $5.50 per axle to $6.50 per axle for trucks and buses using the toll tag, from $6 per axle to $10 per axle for cash payments, establishing a $25 fee for tractors without a trailer. Mr. Valderas, can you enlighten us a little bit more on this?
So, good afternoon, members of the board, mayor. So thank you all for setting up this special meeting. I know under the circumstances, you all meet, I believe, every third Thursday of the month, so I appreciate you all taking the time to host this special meeting to discuss these very important topics that were just mentioned by our chairman here. So I'll go ahead and begin with, I guess, our vision for the non-commercial, which, as we currently stand, is $2 per axle. So that means that a vehicle will get charged $4 to cross into Mexico, whether they're paying cash or whether they're using the express card, soon to be toll tag. So a year and a half ago, the city began the implementation of a new toll system that cost us about $4 million to invest in infrastructure or equipment that is reliable and dependable, especially when we have high levels of traffic. I think a perfect example that we can use is this Friday. I don't know if anyone noticed, but the traffic was appeared to be a lot more severe than it is during the regular weekends. The reason being, one of our lanes is, or Bridge 1 is currently being worked on to get this new equipment installed. So what we saw on Friday is a testament of what having equipment that's not reliable can do to a city. The fact that we had one lane not working because we're upgrading it, it showed that the traffic got all the way on Garrison all the way to KFC, and it causes chaos for our community, for members of the community that are not trying to cross to Mexico. So part of what we're trying to do with this increase is continue to provide the best equipment that our bridge system needs. A part of acquiring the system is not only buying the system, but maintaining it. It's very costly to keep the number of lanes that we have functioning at Bridge 1 and 2 to continue to operate in an optimal fashion if we're not investing in the maintenance. And the maintenance is anywhere between, for this system, because it's state-of-the-art, it is going to cost us around $700 to $1 million of maintenance a year. What we're trying to establish with these increments is ensuring that we can continue to not only maintain the bridge system, but move forward with projects that are much needed at the bridge system that are valued in the millions of dollars. So the last thing that the bridge system wants to do is to take away from what we're already providing to the city. Out of the $19 million that the bridge brings in, we send about $17 million over to the city to maintain and operate city operations, public safety, like the mayor mentioned, and also projects. So the bridge system is operating on a $2 million operating budget. Obviously, we use some of that to also pay some of the debt that we've taken on to build a new building. But the majority of it comes to the city and benefits the city and our city residents. How? That we don't have to rely on increasing taxes to continue to operate the city and continue to bring projects to the community. We're in the process of finishing a multi-million-dollar investment in a gymnasium that will benefit the community. Part of this investment is paid off by the bridge system. So my point is, I'm just trying to show the board that it's hard to give to the city so much and then try to go back and take it back to satisfy the needs of the bridge. This is not the first time that the bridge has increased its fees. We're not the only international bridge that has increased their fees. As a matter of fact, right now, the city of FAR, I believe, Ms. Letty, is currently at $5 per vehicle. So at one point, we were the lowest. At one point, we've been the highest. At one point, we've been in the middle. Other international bridge systems and other cities face the same challenges we do. It's nothing new. It's not something that only Eagle Pass is doing. It's not only something that the Port of Eagle Pass is doing. This is something that periodically is done through all the international bridge systems. Why? Because things get more expensive. They get more expensive for us on a personal level, and they get more expensive on an organizational level. So the reality is that the challenges that we face as individuals, the city faces it twofold. Everything is more expensive for us as a city to continue to maintain and operate, especially when we're growing as fast as we're growing. The needs of the city services are growing, and with that growth comes more expenses. So unfortunately, we have to get creative on ways to continue to provide the services at a high level without putting a burden on all our tax payers. So I know mayor and council are faced with the difficult decision of either increasing our bridge toll or adjusting property taxes. And I think that's something that I feel like is going to impact our community a lot more than increasing our bridge customers. Now, does that say that I don't feel for our bridge customers? Absolutely. I understand that increasing the bridge toll fee is going to be a burden on those that use the bridge. But I also know that a lot of people benefit from our bridge. I know me for a fact. I know that my daughter has her braces got, they were placed with an orthodontist in Mexico. And the reason I did it is because it's cheaper than getting them installed here in the U.S. So I benefit from that. I benefit from being able to cross into Mexico and going to get a high-level medical service for my daughter without having to pay what it costs in the U.S. So I think those people that obviously that live in Mexico, that work in Eagle Pass and live in Mexico, I mean, there's a benefit to that too, right? I mean, we know that a dollar goes longer in Mexico than it does in the US. So I'm not to say that there's anything wrong with that. They're absolutely entitled to do that. But I'm just saying our international bridge system is providing benefits that people in the interior of the US don't have. It's actually a blessing to have an international bridge. It gives us the best of both worlds. Just like we have people in Mexico that come to Eagle Pass to shop, and we have people from Eagle Pass that go to Piedras Negras to shop or to eat or to enjoy whatever it is that Piedras Negras has to offer. You know, it's a benefit to have this international bridge, and I just want the board to see that it's not that we're trying to place a burden on the people that choose to use it, but we're trying to just make sure that we can continue to keep up with the needs of the organization, the services that are required by the community. Right now, it all began with a vision of 4-6, because we wanted to be ambitious and we wanted to be aggressive with bringing in additional revenue to be able to get a lot of these projects. They're no longer out there, but we had 25 projects out there that the community wants us to move forward. So we're trying to figure out a way to get these things done. Outside of that, the bridge itself has plenty of needs. Bridge 1 is deteriorated. It is very old. You know, the toll booths at both Bridge 2 and Bridge 1 need replacement. That's about $250,000 per booth. We have 3 at Bridge 1. We have 8 at Bridge 2. Is it? No, it's 5. 5 at Bridge 2. So, I mean, all these things are going to cost us money to continue to maintain and operate our bridge and provide the best service that we can to the community. I know at the last council meeting, you know, the item was tabled. It was the third reading for a proposal of 4-6. Councilwoman Ramon did amend that motion to $4 for the card and $5 for cash. Why do we want the difference between card and cash, or soon to be toll tag? Is because I was looking through the statistics, and we'll be glad to share that with the board. And the use of the express card has been going down. Why? Because people have no incentive to use it. If you're going to pay the same as you do with cash than with the card, people just pay cash. I've had people call me and say, hey, I've had my card for 4 years. I just have never used it because I don't have money in it. So when I cross, I just pay cash. My thing is, they have the card, but they're not using it. It's the same as not having the card, honestly.
So why not incentivize them by maybe lowering it 50 cents, 25 cents? It wasn't like that. It wasn't always like that. The express card in the past was like 50 cents lower than
Correct.
paying with cash.
It was lower at one point. It was lower because it did not really have, I guess, a perk to it. Before we had the express lane, now we have it now where we open it up on the weekends and you have access to Bliss Street. That was not available before, so you pretty much had to do the line just like everyone else before you could get to your lane. When we decided to increase that is when we got strategic with getting our access to the bridge a lot faster. So at that point, we felt like the benefit was now equal or better than those that were paying in cash. And what we're trying to do now is we're trying to really onboard as many express card users as we can so that can be the benefit. The benefit would be getting to the bridge faster, not so much paying less. So that's what our incentive is trying to be, is giving those card users or those toll tag holders to be able to get to the bridge faster and not necessarily have to pay less. So that's the advantage that we're looking for, is getting you to the toll booths a lot quicker than if you're paying cash. So that's where the incentive is in this particular situation.
So
So
a comment that they went up there and tried to get a card before 2, 3, or 4 years ago, but you guys didn't have the cards. That's why a lot of people couldn't get the cards, because you guys didn't have enough cards to give away so you can fill it up. That was the reason why they didn't get the card.
So unfortunately, this always happens every year after we're asking people to, I guess, obtain the card. And then whenever the end of the year comes by everyone's trying to get the card because nobody's trying to stay in line, right, with the paisanos. So unfortunately, what happened there is a lot of the times the cards would get sold out because everybody would come at the same time. Now we can't be holding 5 years of inventory in cards waiting for people to decide to go get them. So, we try to keep inventory as much as we can, and that's why we constantly are asking people to switch over to the card, because we know that when the traffic is here, that's going to be your best bet to get fast as quick as you can. So the inventory issue, yes, I know that right now we are currently out, but I know we expect the shipment to get here on Tuesday. And again, why did that happen? Because with these whole conversation of the toll tag, the toll rate going up, everybody's decided to get them. Now, one thing that we were doing here in this past year is eventually we are going to transition away from the express card, and we were trying to remove cards from circulation so we wouldn't have to force people to jump onto the toll tag. But with this whole conversation, I know Mayor and Council would have instructed us to just go ahead and let's continue to sell them. And then hopefully at the beginning of 2026, we'll start transitioning over to toll tags for the non-commercial vehicles. But that's the reason for the inventory. Unfortunately, we get a rush at the end of the year, and it's pretty hard to keep up with that, especially when a lot of those people that get them during that time is also people that are from the outside. So they'll get it 1 year, and then by the next year, they can't find it, so then they try to go get another one. So, yeah, it gets pretty chaotic at the end of the year for the bridge system.
Is it when the line goes all the way to back to Garrison, whatever, on Bridge 1, is it really, because is it really here at the toll, or is it in the other side of the bridge?
Yeah, so unfortunately, it can always be a combination of both. Like, I'm not going to say that we're always the reason, or that the aduana is always the reason. There will be some times where maybe we're not processing as fast enough, right? And, you can see it. There's a very clear indicator of that. If you see the bridge and the bridge is empty and we have a line on Garrison, then guess what? That's us. And
That's you
Ms.
guys.
Letty recognizes that.
Yeah.
That it's us, that we're not processing fast enough. But if there's a line, if the bridge is full and there's a line on Garrison, then that tells us it's the aduana that's holding back the processing,
Because
right?
I never seen the bridge empty, to be
Yeah.
honest. Since
So-
I've been here, I never seen the bridge empty.
So,
For
so,
many years, not even Bridge 1 and Bridge 2.
Yeah.
It's always on this side where they only open 2,
Mm-hmm.
and you just can get across.
yes,
It's just like a tunnel. You go in there and you're holding everybody back.
Yep.
Now, and the 6 lanes that they're gonna build, I hope they open more lanes for the trailers so they can go by faster. But if they only have 1 lane, you're just gonna have them on top of the bridge, all of them.
absolutely. No, and that's part of the process, right? Is how do you remove the bottlenecks? And I think right now with the aduana, they've made some improvements at Bridge 1 on their side, on Bridge 1 and Bridge 2, to where they've added more lanes. Now, will they have them open? I know that every weekend I reach out to them and I tell them, please open everything up. We don't want them to be the reason for our bottleneck. They tell me that they're going to open them all up, and I don't see why they wouldn't. But that's part of just the improvements on both our sides that we need to do, right? Is just adding more capacity and adding more processing power to what we're doing. For us, it's on the collection side. For them, it's on the inbound processing side. The same thing happens with the people coming into the United States, right? We know CBP's process is longer than aduanas, and that's a lot of the reason why the traffic backs up, right? I mean, you don't see hundreds of cars coming out of CBP. You see one at a time, right? It's a very slow process how they come out, so that's usually never a problem. But we know why the lines build up, right? So I think ultimately our goal is to just make sure that we can continue to get people to the toll booth and hopefully across into Mexico as fast as possible. I was just having a meeting this morning, and this project that we have for Bridge 1, where we'll have the express lane begin just outside here of City Hall all the way to Bridge 1. That should begin on Wednesday. So we'll be putting out something to the community so that they are aware that there will be some restriping and some construction on Commercial, where we're going to change that street to one-way. We'll have an exhibit so the community can see what to expect, but we expect that project to take about 2 to 3 weeks to complete. And eventually what we'll have there is we're going to have three accesses to the bridge directly, and then we're going to have one dedicated to to the downtown area so that they're not affected when there's long lines. You can always get to downtown at any time. So again, those are investments that the bridge system is making. That project, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be just over 300,000. That's for the vendor plus the work that Public Works will be doing on our end. So, I mean, it's expensive to do these projects, but ultimately the main objective here is to try to improve the access to the bridge and get people to the bridge as fast as we can, get them into Mexico, and not cause congestion into the city. And this one, the one for downtown, I know since I was at the bridge, the downtown merchants would always complain and come and complain to me and tell me, oh, well, it's because you guys close all the access to the streets to downtown, it's hurting business. Well, guess what? Now there's going to be one lane that you can, doesn't matter if the line is all the way to McCoy's, you will be able to get to downtown if you need to get to downtown. So, you know, again, with these projects, we're not just looking to help the bridge users, we're looking to help everyone that traffic impacts, and I think we're accomplishing that. So, so as far as the vehicular fee is concerned, like I mentioned earlier, I know Councilwoman Ramon did amend the original motion to do 4.6, and they reduced it to 4.5. I think that is a very reasonable increase. I think if we can stick to that increase, we provide an incentive for individuals to get on the card. And like the mayor mentioned earlier, our objective is to help the people know how to get the card, know how to reload the card. We are going to put ourselves in the best position possible to walk them through step by step. I've mentioned it in the past, our goal is going to be to go to the store, go to the mall, set up a booth at the mall, set up a booth at Walmart, and get people signed up. Let them understand every process of what you have to do to keep this card maintained. The new card system also has an auto reload feature where you don't have to, I mean, if you want to reload it every time it gets to $5 with another $10, it can do that. You can link your account to it. You can link your credit card to it. And you won't have to go online. You won't have to do anything at the booth. It'll automatically do it for you. So there's features that are included in this that make it as seamless as possible for individuals to reload. Now I get it. There's individuals that may not have a cell phone or that may not know how to manage technology. And for those individuals, we're willing to do it for them. We can set them up where they can go to the office. Ms. Letty and the team are willing to help them step by step. So I think ultimately the 4-5 option gives an option to those local individuals that cross either from Eagle Pass to Mexico or from Mexico over here and then back to not have to have an increase. You know, they could stay at $4 for them. And we're going to make sure that we help them. I know I've also mentioned the $40 minimum. We're willing to work with the individual. If they cannot put the $40, we'll open it with whatever they can. So I think at this point, we're putting ourselves in the position to not affect anyone if they jump on board to the express card or the soon-to-be toll tag. I think the city of Eagle Pass, we cannot and will not rise to the level of the bigger cities until we start adapting to what the bigger cities are doing. And technology is one of them. Technology is all around us. It's advancing every day more and more. And if we want to be considered I guess a prominent city, we need to start adapting into what bigger cities are doing. And we see it. I mean, with the parking lot, I mean, we have a parking system that we started there that was only taking cash, was not giving change, and people would complain about it. Last year we invested and we got a parking system that now does provide change. It takes credit cards, it takes tap to pay, and what we've seen is cash is hardly used. I think we went from like 60% cash to now 20% cash. Everybody's using technology, either your phone or your card to pay. So to me, it's just one of those things that we need to embrace what's already here and use it. And I get it. There may be people that have a hard time to adapt to it, but that's what we're here for. We're here to help them. And I know that it'll be hard at first, but once we become accustomed to it, it shouldn't be a problem. So again, I stand behind the recommendation to stay with the 4 or 5. Just because it will give us an incentive for individuals to jump on the card. As I mentioned, with this project that we have happening here on Garrison, I believe we're going to add another express lane, so we're gonna have 2 express lanes, so that's even gonna be more of an incentive. People will have two lanes versus 1 that we have now. We'll have 1 cash lane available, so it's really helping our people that are buying into this program to get to the bridge faster. And part of our goal is gonna be, when we do have people out there in line that are in the cash lane, is we're gonna go out there to their vehicles and we're gonna say, hey, do you wanna use these other 2 lanes? This is how you can do it. We can walk you through it. We can sign you up right here, right now. Let's get you on board so you don't have to be waiting across. Jump over to the other line and cross as fast as you can.
What you're doing in bridge number 1, what you're doing in bridge number 1 to the booth, who else has it?
Who else
What
has
other, yeah, what other city has it?
dedicated lanes?
Yeah.
I know that there's dedicated lanes in Laredo, and I think all the I know Del Rio has dedicated lanes. So all the bridges pretty much have dedicated lanes for those AVI users. That's what they're called in the industry, AVI users. But as far as like, is there one that's fully automated? No, there's nobody there, and hopefully we can be the first one to have that. That's our goal.
Well, Meron, for people that need help with like setting up their card, is there some communication out there that says, hey, you can come in here at such hours?
Absolutely.
To set up their card or get a new card or whichever.
So we have some how-to videos. I know our marketing team is working on how-to videos. I think they've already released a couple on exactly where you need to go to, where you need to click, a step-by-step process. How do you reload? They can always call the bridge. The bridge 2 is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They can always call, or they can always visit the office, and Ms. Letty or one of the workers employees there will be able to help them.
I think staying like from $4 to $5, like Councilwoman said on the last board meeting that you guys had, I think that's a great idea. But if I could suggest, I do think that maybe we should lower the express lane to $3.50. And if what we want to do and what we want to accomplish is for us to be a little more efficient, then I think that's the way or the route that we should be going for.
All right, and
Just to be clear on this, I mean, there were 2 items there for discussion. Number 1 was the commercial vehicles. Anything else we want to add to the commercial, or are we good with what it says there, or?
for
with
the commercial vehicles, I guess
Before we jump into the item 2 where that was a good recommendation. Yeah.
So I started off with non-commercial. I don't have the agenda in front of me, but I started off with the non-commercial.
With non-commercial.
We went to the regular.
Yeah.
Is, so
See.
We had the.
commercial first, and then, well, I apologize for that. I thought we were gonna
I was
start with
just
the non-
following what you were saying.
So I guess if we can we stick to that one and then move forward? to the next
Move
one?
back to the number 1.
So we're on, okay, so then I went into 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can we finish on that one and then move over to 1?
Okay.
Since all the
Okay,
discussion
so-
has,
So let's look at number 2. We heard Mr. Valderas and we heard Ms. Valdez proposed well, we have it there as a discussion, as we have it here.
is 4-6.
It's from 4 to 6 per vehicle, okay? We listened to the presentation by Mr. Valderas, and he stated, and there was a recommendation by a council member, 4 to 5, okay? But listening to, of course, the public and listening to our board here, Ms. Valdez came up with another recommendation from, instead of 4, to lower it to $3.50 per card, per express card,
Per express
and without
And without it state, like, what
5.
Councilwoman Jessica Ramon
$5.
suggested, which was
Okay.
the $5.
$5. Any
If I
suggestions
can,
here from the board?
if I
Because-
can just make a quick
Yes.
So I would highly recommend against lowering, because the reason is that we've already incorporated the $4 fee for cash and for the budget. So going back right now would mean we would have to go back to the budget and make budget amendments and make some cuts. So if anything, maybe leave it the same. And if we want to consider lowering anything, that we do it appropriately when the budget cycle begins next year. Because
Can we-
then it will put us in a pickle where we'd have to find ways to cut the budget the way that it is, and ultimately the burden would fall on mayor and council to make those tough decisions on what we have to cut.
Can we
May
leave it
even
as,
include
can we
personnel.
leave it as a 4 with the card and a 4 with the?
Did you make your
Leave the
budget on
same?
the $4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your $4?
Yeah, so the budget right now is at $4 for cash and $4 for express card.
Yeah.
So anything over that would obviously give us a surplus of revenue based on projections. But if we lower it, then that means we would be at a deficit according to the budget projections for the 26. So that's where it would get tough, and we would have to make some cuts on some of the budgets, and we'd have to bring that to mayor. and
Homero,
council.
I completely agree that, I mean, budget's already set for that one, but I had a question. If you could put a percentage of how many citizens of Eagle Pass pay cash when they go to Piedras Negras, what would be your ballpark percentage?
So, and that's where I was mentioning that we are seeing the numbers drop. So as far as cardholders are concerned, we have about 30% of our citizens or the
So
bridge
citizens of Eagle
users.
Pass, 30%
Yeah.
still pay cash.
70%.
70% still pay cash? Citizens of Eagle Pass?
Yes. So we have about 30% of cards out there, but the circulation is more like 18%, 19%. So that means that the other 12% have cards but don't use them, right? Why? Because it's the same thing. You pay cash or you pay card. It's not, outside of maybe getting to the bridge faster, there's really no other incentive, right?
There's no other incentive. Why? Because you're basically paying the exact same for either or.
Yes.
Right? So all these, and if you could add to what additions are gonna come to having the express card? Like what additions? What are you gonna offer me, user, for just using this express card?
So one of the things that we're offering is obviously the access a lot faster to the bridge. I think we were the first to also experience the toll tag, and I think, Mayor, when we drove by the bridge, I mean, it's gonna get to the point where you don't even have to stop. I mean, you
just
get
go.
to the bridge, you don't have to lower the window, you don't have to stick your hand out to the card reader. I mean, that's what we're trying to get here is efficiency. So, and we used it the other day to test it out, and you know, you pull up to the lane, as soon as you get under there, it reads it and it opens up and you keep on your way. So again, that is gonna be.
Are you gonna add lanes? Or
Uh,
what do you have in mind for Bridge One?
For Bridge One,
Are you
it's
gonna-
gonna be we have three lanes right now. Two of those will become express lanes and one of them will be a cash lane. So, currently, I don't know if you have ever seen, but the express lane, it currently does get backed up on the weekends. Why? Because, you know, the people that go that have the card, well, they now create traffic there. And it happens on the Century Lane too, coming from Mexico. You know, once you get enough users, they use it at the same time, it's gonna cause a backup. So I think we're trying to continue to provide that efficient crossing by adding that second lane. So we'll have two lanes, and eventually, hopefully, if this is successful enough, hopefully, you know, we'll be here before the board, proposing to go full automated at Bridge One and just
Full
do
automated.
Bridge Two for cash. And if that's the case, I think that's where we will become a true local bridge. Have a bridge for our locals to be able to cross into Mexico as quickly as possible. And that's the goal. So your decision here today is gonna help us get, or hopefully will help us get to that at one point in the future.
The only thing for me is when everybody gets a line, if you're gonna get those express cards and they're gonna go faster. But if they don't have the people across the lanes open, you're gonna back up. And they're gonna come back to us and say, you told me you were gonna go faster now. What's the problem now? That's
Yes.
that's the only thing that is gonna hit us back.
Yeah.
You
And,
know?
and I get that, sir, and I think for me, the thing is, you know, what we try to be as clear to everyone as that we're trying to get you to the toll as quickly as possible, to the toll plaza, right?
Yeah.
After that, well, that's out of our hands, but I'm glad to know that we have a great relationship with the aduana to where they understand, and we'll try to make them understand that for us, it's imperative that they have all their lanes open at all times, because with this new efficient process, I think, like you said, we're gonna get people a lot faster to the aduana. Is that gonna back up into us faster, right? And there's a possibility. So for us, it's just keeping constant communication. Once we go live with that, we'll see how we have to react and how we have to get aduana to help us out so that it's not a problem. But yeah, we wanna be very clear. When we sell an express card or a toll tag, it is to get faster access to the toll plaza, not so much to Mexico. Obviously, getting faster to the toll plaza will equate to getting faster into Mexico, but we can't speak for aduana. You know, their processing is their process.
Okay, so we have two, two amendments that were mentioned here. One by Ms. Valdez, 4. Keep it, you want to still keep it at 4 or?
Yeah, I guess what's your,
The express card?
Yes.
On the express card, I would want like from 4, or suggest like from 4, maybe lowering it to 350. I know that you mentioned that the budgets has already been, like they have already been processed. Now, are the projections also with how much you guys are increasing the non-commercial vehicle, the commercial vehicles? And,
no increase were taken into the budget.
so we do take into, like, we could take into consideration that maybe cutting like 50 cents, like, we're still gonna make it up some way. You guys are not taking into consideration the amount, like how much you guys increased it on the commercial vehicles.
No, not with the budget. So you're saying reducing one because you're gonna make up for it on the other one?
Well, you're reducing it by like 50 cents. You will make, how much are you guys increasing the rest for?
So for the
How big of an impact is
non-commercials,
50
$1.
cents?
I'm sorry?
How big of an impact is 50 cents? Like, how much would be affected? Just so we can have an
It's
understanding.
like a 200.
of-
Well, 50 cents, and we have about 9,000 cars a day, so that's about $4,500 a day.
$4,500 a day?
Yeah.
So those $4,500 a day of CIP projects, of covering your fire department and police department, and I mean, those are departments that we don't make a profit on, it's services that we offer to the community. You want to have better services for our community. You want to have better PD, you want to have better fire, you want to have better EMS, you want better streets. We want to offer these to our community.
Yep, you're absolutely right, sir. And again, you know, part of it is we budgeted with the fees that we had in place, and part of it is to try to stay as conservative as we can, and the intent is the additional revenue that comes in is not necessarily going to be more money for us to use this year. It's start saving up the money for when we need it for these big projects that are coming up. So we still want to keep that conservative approach and say we're sticking to what we had already budgeted. These increases is getting one step ahead of the expenses that we already see coming. So staying the same or increasing it is no detriment at all. Reducing can cause us some issues in trying to just figure out how we zero out the deficit that bringing it down goes. Now, to your point that you're saying, okay, well, how about we just take it over from commercial? Yeah, we could possibly do that. We could possibly make the adjustment, or the shortfall that we have on the passenger vehicles we take from commercial. We typically like to keep both the traffic type separate and kind of let them both pay for their own improvements. And when we get into the commercial, I'll talk a little bit about what the improvements we want to do there. So whenever we increase a fee, we want to have something that it is applied to. So in this case, for the Bridge 1, for the passenger vehicles, part of it is this expansion and getting the realignment, adding another express lane to Bridge 2 as well. I know you mentioned that at the last meeting, getting better access. So part of that is the part of this fee is getting that realignment done as well. And because that one's not only going to benefit commercial, but it's also going to benefit passenger. The proposed fee that we're proposing on commercial is going to have its own projects that we're trying to bring to help maximize their processing as well. So we kind of tried to stick to, if we're going to increase, we don't want to increase passenger vehicles to invest in helping commercial and vice versa. We want to kind of keep them separate, and so that we can keep track of what projects and why the increases are being done for the traffic type. But I get what you're saying, and it definitely could be done if we had to.
Is there any way you can leave it $4 and $4? I know you want to get the card. That's what you guys want to raise it up to $5.
Yes, that's also a possibility. We could also leave it where it is, and we would not have a negative impact. We'd stay in the same place, but like to Mayor Valdez's point, obviously, we want to continue to maximize and improve our services, and that's part of it, right? I think at the end of the day, I don't think anybody wants to pay more for anything, right? Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. And for us, we're having to pay more for services, we're having to pay more for construction, and the list goes on. It's just like us at home, right? You go to the store, you're not spending what you were spending 6, 7 years ago to buy groceries, you know? You're spending 2, 3 times as much. And I'm just being very realistic here with not only the board, but with the community, right? So my thing is, we need to just understand what the expectations are from the city and how we can achieve those expectations. Without funding, we can't do much, and that's just a reality. I know mayor and council have been very generous with our staff in providing certain benefits and certain pay increases. We did about an 8% increase this past year for all employees, which has not been done in the past. They also approved to do a flat increase when before it was on a staggered level, and it's gonna cost us more. So all of those changes, unfortunately, affects us, and which is good. I'm not against it, because we want to pay our employees as much as we can. We're continuing to work on being a competitive employer when it comes to salaries. But at the same time, we have to understand when those decisions are made, you add more to that piece of pie, which leaves less pie for everything else that you're trying to do. So that's just my point. My point is, if we want to continue to move the city forward, we want to continue to bring projects, we want to continue to bring improvements, we have to have the funding for it. And if we don't get it this way, then there will be other ways that the city has to look into obtaining funding.
Okay, do I have, I mean, it's a discussion. Can we do a motion here to, I mean, either keep it or?
What we wanted, it's like a suggestion.
Yes.
Or
So
a
if we-
suggestion that the board can be behind? This
Yeah.
is what we're suggesting as a board.
I guess if we can, if maybe we can go each individual member and just provide us your recommendation, and if City Sec, if we can make note of that, and
Or I
we'll
think we
bring
can
that
come,
over.
I think we can come to an agreement. I mean, I'm pretty sure we, I mean, even though we might be a little bit off here, but I think you explained it very well, and I think we know what the citizens want, and I think we can come somewhere in the middle. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
No, I mean, if we
because
could,
Lina-
I mean, I'm with Ms. Valdez, if that could happen, I mean, we could go down to 350, but, you know, budget's done, like, you know, and obviously we need to make, you know, everything goes up every year, so things need to go up. So
So-
I'm also with Ms. Valdez.
So 4, keep it at 4, and 5 for non-holder users. Would that be a good compromise, or 4-4? 4-5 or 4-4? Or 6-7?
Yeah, I like that. That's just-
I would do
That was a joke, by the way.
4-5
Make sure you
if
say
we're
that for the
trying-
record. I can already see our local media getting
4-5
on
if
Mr.
we're
Squad
also
for that.
trying to move for efficiency. I mean, if that's our goal, then 4-5.
Right.
I'm just wondering, because if we're gonna, let's come back to the same thing. If we're gonna hold the traffic, if I had bought that card and had hold the traffic, I was gonna complain. If a citizen, because I was gonna say, you told me this, it was gonna move faster, but I know you can't do anything about it, because on the other side of the bridge, they're holding the traffic. So that's what I see.
I
That's what I
think-
see.
I think in the last year and a half, no.
And everybody complains because the traffic's, you know, is held back, and they say, it's not here, it's over there. And when you're coming from over there, it's not over there, it's over here.
Yeah, I think ultimately, I have been out there, you know, in the Paisanos helping direct traffic, and the express lane, I mean, I have to say that people have been praising that idea forever. So I think moving into this 2-lane system is just going to give even more access it's going to be a lot faster to get through. Now, whether the bottleneck happens at the aduana or not, I think our commitment is to get you to the toll plaza faster. Not faster into Mexico, just faster to the toll plaza. Once you get on there, the aduana process is slow, but not too slow. To where, once you get on the bridge, you're flowing the whole way. It's hardly at a standstill. When it's at a standstill, it's because they have some kind of issues over there with their system or whatever. But let's cross our fingers that doesn't happen. But will it happen? Absolutely. I mean, technology, just as much as we rely on it, sometimes it fails us, right? And that's the reality of it.
Cool. Okay, so that would be a good recommendation for the board. Okay.
5? Okay. City Sec, can you make note of that so we can take this to Mayor and Council?
And now we go to the first one now, which was the one that we originally started with, which I think you spoke plenty of. And
Okay, so, yes, so this one is gonna be the commercial. So I think, both individuals that spoke under citizens communication mentioned, the fact that, commercial traffic is definitely increasing and causing some chaos when it comes to traffic. What we're proposing right now, and I know it passed its second reading with mayor and council, at the council meeting on this past Tuesday. So what we're proposing there with them is we're proposing an increase of $1 from $5.50 to $6.50 per axle for regular trailers, whether they be of 4 and 5 axles. And we're also proposing an increase of $25 for the tractor trailers that currently are being utilized to transport fuel into Mexico. We are considering that now to be a hazardous cargo at the Port of Eagle Pass. We've had several that have had major spills and has cost us significant time and money in getting that cleaned up. So we feel since they are choosing to cross through our Port of Eagle Pass, we need to be prepared financially to be able to mitigate any emergency that one of those types of traffic causes for the bridge. So that's why we've asked for the significant increase. I think the citizens that spoke mentioned it. It's no secret. We see it. There's a bunch of those that have just taken over the bridges. And we just want to make sure that as a city and as a bridge system that we're prepared for the event of anything happening with a spill or any major accident. We hope not, but the plan is to use that funding to be prepared in the event something does happen. And then from the 550 to the 650, and we've kind of mentioned it, the processing, as far as coming into the U.S., we've come to know that the 2 current CBP booths that they have is not enough to be able to process the 1,700 trucks, or at least not as efficiently as we would like. I know the crossing times have increased because of this increment in traffic, and our goal is to invest in adding and donating 2 more commercial booths for the commercial traffic. So part of this increase will be to be able to not only design but construct these 2 additional booths. And I am happy to say that we have had conversations with the transport community, and they are in agreement that in order to be able to improve, we need to work together. It's not just a burden on the city, but a burden on all of us. And they understand our commitment to get this done. Unfortunately, just like with everything else, funding is needed. So our goal here is to increase it a total of $1 per axle, which means that your average truck that transports cargo has five axles. So it would be an increment of $5 per trailer. And I will add that even with that increment, we will not be the most expensive. And I don't want to throw our neighbors under the bus, but Del Rio will still be more expensive than us by $1. So I just thought I'd mention that.
Any comments on that?
Homero, percentage-wise, CPA Jesus Casas mentioned that we were raising the bridge toll for non-commercial percentage-wise more than the commercial.
He is accurate there, Mayor. The reason being that there's a big difference in the initial toll from the increase to what the current rate is. So currently, the rate for trucks is $27.50. So increasing it $1 versus increasing it $1 to $4, it's 25%. So I guess the percentage is right, but it's not comparable because the amount for trailers is a lot more.
Okay, just so we can touch base on that.
Yeah.
How about leaving it equal, like what you pay for having a container and not having, like leaving both at 32.5?
I think, well, anything's a possibility, right? At the same time that we're trying to be cautious and be prepared, I think the commercial vehicles with the 5 axles are causing more of a wear and tear because of the 2 additional axles. They are carrying a lot more weight. So I think putting those both at the same level would be a little unfair for the 3 axle because those are technically not carrying the same amount of weight, but the reason that we're increasing their fee is because of the type of cargo that they're transporting. So it's not so much, it's more for the liability of what they're pushing across our bridge rather than the wear and tear that they're providing on our.
Which
on our
is
bridge.
what?
The fuel.
Oh, okay.
They're crossing fuel.
So that is hazardous, right?
Yes, it is hazardous.
Okay. So you wouldn't think like maybe having it somewhat similar if you're carrying that type of cargo?
I think based on the fact that they're at 1550 and we're already increasing it about 70%,
Okay.
I think that should be, because if we go to 3250, then that would be like 110% increase. I think that might be a little excessive. We hope that nothing does happen and no accidents and no spills to where it's costly to the city. But obviously, if something like that does happen, then I would say we definitely would have to reconsider adding more of a fee for that type of cargo.
If there's a spill, like you said, wouldn't it be cost to the owner of the truck?
Yes, if they have the coverage for it. It has happened on several occasions where vehicles that are registered in Mexico are doing transports in the U.S. They have an accident, and when they try to go after the insurance does not cover, or they don't have insurance. So that's part of the sacrifice that a lot of these vehicles that are transporting are from Mexico. Not to say that they don't have insurance, but there is that possibility that does happen, and it's happened in the past. So that's what we're trying to protect ourselves to make sure the burden is not going to fall on the city.
Mr. Valdez, have you met with the private sector regarding this issue?
Yes, the private sector, I'm in conversations with them, just like everyone else. I mean, nobody's gonna clap at increasing a fee, but when you give them the vision of what we're trying to do with this funding, and everything changes. I think the last time we increased commercial tolls was to implement this new toll tax system that the commercial sector asked us for. Why? Because they were having a lot of fraud with the cards. The drivers were using them inappropriately, and they had no control over it. So we increased the fee, 3 years ago to deliver the new toll system, and it's here now. So I think right now nobody's more ecstatic about this than the cargo companies. I mean, they're going to save a lot of money in misuse in the cards, and this is why they're on board with this, because we've not only promised things in the past, but we've delivered. And that's the goal here, is if this gets approved, our plan is to begin designing the extra 2 booths for CBP and make begin that process as soon as possible.
Okay, guys, any other questions for Mr. Valdez? So do we keep that recommendation? Do we want to recommend that as written there?
That'll be 25 for tractors that have no trailers.
$25
How
flat.
much you were charging before that?
$15.50. So that's an increase of $9.50.
Can't go $30, because they're making pretty good money crossing that.
We're all ears right now.
No, I'm just saying.
I mean,
No, let's, I would say let's go with those recommendations. I'm pretty sure you guys study the traffic and talk to the transporters and have an idea what they can stomach or how much they can afford.
And
at this
again, like I
time.
mentioned, if for whatever reason we feel like we need to bump it up some more, we can definitely come. I hope that's not the case, because if we do, then that means we've had some accidents, and that's the last thing that we want. This is not, we're not trying to increase this to cover accidents. What we want is no accidents. But in the event that there is one, we want to make sure we're prepared for it.
All right, guys, so, next item, or are we done? I mean, are we done with this?
That's it.
Yeah.
2 items discussed. I will make sure that we take your comments and your agreement as a board to mayor and council, and we will be presenting this next Tuesday. So by your next, or I'll have Ms. Letty send you all an update on your group chat, just of what the decision was taken. And then I look forward to standing before you all moving forward in your bridge board meetings, keeping you all up to date on any proposed projects or any changes that we do have coming. For the month of November, we do have a proposed, and I believe they presented it to y'all last time, some signage that we'll be installing at Bridge Number 2. So we'll be having an event. We'll make sure we get y'all invited, so y'all can be there for the unveiling of this monument at Eagle Pass.
And we do appreciate the opportunity to bring this type of issues before the board. I think everyone here has the best interest of our city, and bringing those the citizens here to express their views and so forth. Okay? We do appreciate that very much.
Absolutely, and if I can, so was I correct? I know it's been a while since I had been at one of the regular meetings. I know I've been here in the past 2, but it's every third Thursday, right?
Thursday of the month.
Third Thursday of the month. So if I can, I want to invite our public to please come before our board with any concerns, any issues that they would like to bring up on the bridge system, whether it's customer service, whether it's slow processing, whether it's better routes, whatever it is. We want to make sure, and Ms. Letty is here before us to know that my objective as not only city manager, but obviously overseeing the bridge system for the time being, is ensuring that we provide the best customer service. So that expectation is being held not only to Ms. Letty, but all our staff. So the public, if you have any complaints or any issues, or even want to give us kudos, right? We'll take that. If we did a good job, we want to know about that too. So please, every third Thursday of the month, you can come and speak before our bridge board, or at any time, you can reach out to Ms. Letty at Bridge Number 2 or to myself here at City Hall. 830-773-1111 for City Hall, and 830-773-2622 for Bridge Number 2. So yes, please, let's continue to stay engaged, let's continue to communicate, and let's continue to work for a better Eagle Pass.
There being no further business before the Bridge Board of Trustees, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I second.
Moved by Mr. Sandoval,
I second.
second by Ms. Valdez, all in favor? Right hand. This meeting has been adjourned.